What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I've got a really quick video. I just wanted to go through and share what I consider to be the best low zoom optics in Modern Warfare 3, because there does seem to be some confusion surrounding this, and there's one low zoom optic in particular that many people have questions about, and this is the Cronen INTLAS MSP-12, because unlike the other low zoom optics, this has some additional benefits that go alongside it, including a reduction to our aim down sight time, as well as an improvement to our attack stance spread and our hip fire spread. So for many, this appears to be an obvious choice for a low zoom optic. However, this does come with a clear downside, and that is that the laser is visible, and I wanted to show you just how much visibility enemy players will have if you try to use this laser against them. And then we're also going to be taking a good look at how obstructive each of these optics are, and which one gives the better view picture, which will be at least somewhat subjective, but I want to at least show you the full comparison so you can make that decision for yourself. And let's just dive right into that Cronen INTLAS MSP-12 optic, which you can unlock really easily just through those armory unlocks. So if you can't find it in your list, just scroll all the way to the end and then you can activate the Armory Unlock challenge for it. But with this optic, like I said, we get some additional benefits that the other low zoom optics don't provide. We get a slight improvement to our aim down sight speed. This does depend on the weapon and the setup you're using, but it tends to improve that by about 5 to 10 milliseconds. And then on top of this, it improves our hip fire spread and our attack stance spread. And in the menus, there are no cons listed on this. However, that's not actually true. There is a clear con with this, and that is the fact that it also comes with a laser that is visible to enemy players. And not only that, this is visible whether you're hip firing or aiming down sight. It doesn't just activate when you aim down sight, for instance. And that is a clear downside, especially since you can't really control that laser, unlike some of the other laser attachments that are only visible when aiming down sight or only visible when hip firing. Now, as far as how visible this laser is, well, let's just have a look at it in this situation right here. This is in a more of a brighter environment where lasers tend to be a little harder to see, and yet you can still see that laser fairly clearly. And in this case, the enemy is going to be getting that little bit of an advance notice that you are around the corner, and therefore they can use that information to prepare for you better. And this gets even worse when you get into a darker environment. That is quite a bright and easy to see laser, and that's absolutely going to be giving your position away in many cases. However, one thing I wanted to point out here is if you're in a sprint or a tactical sprint, this will disable the laser entirely. So that is one way that you can control whether this laser is on or off, although it's not typically an ideal way because you can't always be sprinting in situations. But it is just something I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of if you decide to use this optic. So there we go, that's the Cronen INTLAS. For all the people that have been asking me about this, I've been seeing a lot of comments about this and whether or not it's good. I'd say as long as you're aware of those downsides, perhaps this could be a viable option for certain builds. But for me, I'm generally going to be avoiding this one. Now let's look at a comparison of what I consider to be the top 5 low zoom optics. Of course, there are more optics available, but I just chose the ones that tend to give the best overall visibility, while also having a nice clean dot in the center, which is generally preferable if you're trying to be as competitive as possible. And these top 5 are the Cronen Mini Pro, the Cronen INTLAS MSP-12, of course, the Slate Reflector, the Mark III Reflector, and the Slimline Pro, which was my favorite low zoom optic in Modern Warfare 2. Although a key difference here I should mention with all of these low zoom optics, in Modern Warfare 2, they would actually slightly harm your aim down sight speed, and in this game, they don't. They don't have any downsides whatsoever to your handling, which is excellent. And when comparing these, I'd say all of these are excellent optics. You really can't go wrong with any of these choices, and that's why they are my top 5. However, just for a little bit of a better view of how much of the screen space they end up taking up, which is an important factor, it's pretty obvious to me that the Mark III Reflector is the superior option in this case. Not only do you have an open-framed optic, so there's no top rail on top of it, which could potentially be obstructive and block part of your target, or something behind your target that you might want to see, but just the overall general area of your screen that this takes up is noticeably smaller than all of these other optics. Now, my second choice would probably be the Slate Reflector, followed by the Slimline Pro optic, then the Cronen Mini Pro, and then finally the Cronen INTLAS MSP-12. Again, I don't really see myself using that optic a whole lot due to the visible laser, but there may be some really niche builds where that could be just fine. And with that, that's pretty much it. That's going to wrap it up for today's really quick comparison and breakdown. I just wanted to make sure I was covering this topic since I am getting so many comments, especially with that Cronen INTLAS MSP-12 optic. So hopefully this clears things up for you guys, and this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Out of all of the low zoom optics in the game, which one is your favorite to use? Is it also the Mark III Reflector, just like myself? Or is it another one on this list? Or perhaps is it something that I didn't even list in my personal top 5? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.